Hi everyone, and welcome to another Toon Talk. I'm your host, Bacon Lord.
And I'm Yorongoth.
And I'm Erebus.
And today we're going to be talking about Flash, the fastest man alive.
And the sixth fastest in this game.
Yep, makes absolutely no sense, doesn't it? Alright, so we're going to jump into the powers here. His first ability, and stop me if I'm reading the wrong one again, is Speed Punch. This ability does light damage to an enemy and has a 50% chance to strike twice. His legendary ability is he gains 1 speed up with this attack. That is the late and mid game statistics or stats. The early game stats is a 35% chance to strike twice, and that is the only change to the numbers. Erebus?
So I have a question. I don't use Flash as often as you two do. He gains the 1 speed up every time he uses it. Does he gain 2 if he does strike twice?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of like how Darkseid, when he hits twice, it always does. I know it's a terrible example, but if he uses his attack,
his basic,
his basic, it will stun both times. I think.
Yes,
Doesn't it?
I believe so. No?
Oh, I'm thinking about when I use Hippo. Sorry, when I use Hippo with Darkseid. So, no, Flash is different. Flash does gain a speed up every time he uses this attack, even if it's multi-strike.
Fantastic. So this is a good ability. It doesn't hit super hard, but that doesn't matter because as we will see as we continue on in this kit, him hitting hard is not what's important in his kit. He hits often, and he hits on everyone else's turn.
He hits every turn.
Yeah.
Almost.
So we'll get into that later on, but
Yeah.
him hitting, and especially him hitting twice, which happens more often than the 50% would lead you to believe. He's one of the,
This is one of those stats that do proc more often than it should, I think.
Yeah.
Because I've had it happen like every round, and I'm like, it's a 50% chance. It's only 50%. It should only be happening half the time.
Right.
But here we are.
So often we see that when you're in charge of a character, the 50% is more like 25. But for him, the 50% is more like 75.
It's so weird.
It is.
Alright, I'm going to keep moving on to his second ability. This is not a damage dealing ability, but it's a supportive ability. Red Streak. This ability gains 2 speed ups that are permanent and has a 100% chance to purge 2 debuffs from Flash. At Legendary, it allows Flash to gain debuff immunity. In the early game, with level 7 being the max, it's only a... it's a 90% chance, but it's only purging... Or it only gains 1 speed up instead.
But it's still 2 debuffs purged.
It's still... the debuff purge doesn't change count, it's just the chance increases at after level 2. So level 2 actually introduces that component. Level 1's only the 1 speed up. But level 2 adds 40% chance to purge 2 debuffs. It's a very unique addition to the kit. And then at rank, at level 8, so in mid-game, you can get the second speed up. But it's always 2 debuffs.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is the move that really kind of unlocks Flash's kit. And again, we'll talk more about that as we get farther on, but being able to self-purge is a massive thing early on in the game. And we should mention, the reason that we're talking about Flash is because he is part of the new player welcome month. They get a special month of daily login bonuses, and he's the first character on that list. So you will unlock him very early just by logging into the game.
And you get 80 fragments of him, so you can at least take him to L3, so he's super useful.
Exactly. And then he has nodes.
Oh, R3. I need to stop talking.
At least you didn't say RB. I think he has nodes starting in...
It changed recently.
It did. I think it's starting in Heroic 3? It could be.
He is the final character in Heroic 3. He used to not be available till Heroic 5. He's a lot more frequently available now, though.
Yes.
Which is really nice.
So, definitely a toon worth investing in early, and these permanent speed-ups are a big part of that. Because he will start taking turn after turn after turn and just continue gaining speed-ups until eventually your opponents aren't getting a turn.
It's quite fun.
It is. And that debuff immunity, it comes in really handy.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to move on to Speed Force Vortex. This ability does damage to an enemy, plus, and it gains 10% damage per speed up on flash with a max of 100%. So if you have 10 speed ups, you're getting the maximum potential from this ability. And at Legendary, it reduces the cooldown by 1, and it gains a 50% chance to gain 30% turn meter up when used.
So, the second half of that Legendary is almost worthless, I would say, just because by the time you have the 10 speed-ups on him, he's going more often than anyone else already. I mean, turn meter up, always good, always nice, but you will never see it. You will never see that 30% turn meter happening because his turn meter just increases so fast already that it very well could be happening every single turn, and it would just sort of feed into, oh, he has 300,000 speed ups already. Why do I need the
speed ups?
Right? Why do I need the extra 30% turn meter?
Yeah. Yorongoth, you got anything on this ability?
No, I don't. It's just really powerful. I really like this ability.
Yeah. I will say what the Legendary actually can be good for, Erebus, is a jump start to get you going with a flash in an early battle scenario. Like if you're trying, if you, because obviously once you get 50,000 speed ups, you're not really needing turn meter up, but until you get 50,000 speed ups, you might need a little boost to get you there.
That's entirely fair. I just whenever
I do see your point. Like it's useless the further in you go, and very fast.
Yes, but the cooldown -1, that's really good because this is his hardest hitting move, and by the time you're 3 turns in and he's on turn 20,
Give or take.
that plus 100% damage is really good. And he'll be doing this every 2 to 3 turns.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual cooldown is off the top of my head.
I believe it's 3 without the Legendary, and it should be 2 with the Legendary.
Yeah, so he'll be doing this all the time.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to say...
Did you forget already?
I did.
Well, it's fine. We can come back to it, because this is going to be the component that's going to kind of unlock everything that we've been saying. That Yorongoth... Oh.
Sorry, I just recalled. I almost never start with his 3, just because I want to start with his 2, because that unlocks everything.
Yeah, that's true.
I also usually...
I can see what you mean about getting a jump start, but that's not how I would start most matches.
Yeah. All right. Yorongoth, you want to take us the rest of the way?
Yep, I got it. So the next one is, or the next ability we're going to be talking about is One Speed, which is a passive ability. And at max level, maximum rings on it, it's 41% chance to use Speed Punch on a random enemy at the end of each ally's turn if Flash has 3+ speed ups. With a legendary ability to it, which is an extra 25% chance to use Red Streak, which makes it 66% chance fully ringed at Legendary. It's a 35% chance at early game, though.
Yeah. That's about right.
Yeah.
And to be clear, we did discuss this beforehand. We think the extra 25% is added onto the 41% chance, but it is entirely possible it's just a 25% chance.
Yes.
But even if it is just a 25% chance, this is another one of those on his kit that seems to activate much more often than you would think it would.
Very, very frequently.
Yeah. So...
And just to be very... just because we kind of glossed over it, and I want to make sure we're very clear here, that's a 41% chance to use his primary attack, which does hit twice even as a passive attack.
Yes.
Every time, on every ally's turn, if he has 3 speed ups. And if you use his second ability, Red Streak, like Erebus was saying, that's 2 speed ups to start. And if you're lucky, you can get a third with the next ability. But that's a really good start there. And the extra 25% chance was to use Red Streak, which is his second ability, which is the one that gives him 2 speed ups. So
2 permanent
that's a
speed
pretty
ups.
good ability.
Yeah. So this legendary is very good, and by the end of his second turn, almost no matter what, you will have 3 speed ups, and so you'll be having this proccing at the end of allies' turns, including his own. Like, he counts as his own ally for this.
Yeah, he's one of those characters that do count as his own ally.
So
Interestingly enough.
right. So you'll sometimes see him just go and he'll do his Speed Force Vortex, his 3, and then suddenly he'll do his 1 and do his speed punches, and then he'll do his 2 and gain more speed ups. And it's like, you just did your entire turn on my turn.
Yeah.
Like,
His entire kit in your turn.
right. So it gets excessive, and he becomes... It's very death by 1,000 paper cuts.
That's a really good way to describe it.
All right, and then the final ability?
So Flash's final ability is called Flash Point, and it's another passive ability. What it does is you get an additional speed up each time Flash gains a speed up on his turn. With Legendary, you will ignore Flash will ignore all awareness if he has 3+ speed ups. This is a pretty effective toon, especially against certain comps early game, because ignoring awareness is just effective, and it's even an ability that's effective once you get into later game. Like, this is why I still use the Flash regularly.
Yeah. I was about to say, awareness has kind of become an obsolete buff to an extent. There's obviously situations where it's very annoying and I hate it, but there's so many toons that ignore it now that it can be obsolete, but early game it is probably one of the most annoying buffs you can deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because characters get it like candy.
So, what is the thing that, as you bring up, gets added? Is it additional % chance to gain a speed up?
Yes. It's 90% early game. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I might have missed it.
I don't think we said it, but now we have.
Yes.
Fantastic. So yeah, I mean, this is why I was saying I always start with Red Streak. I start with his 2, because he immediately gains not only his 2 permanent speed ups, but also this additional speed up, which means on turn 1 he has 3 speed ups, which then means he will immediately activate every other part of his kit. He'll immediately be able to do the 41% chance to use Speed Punch, the extra 25% chance to do Red Streak, and if you have his legendary 5th ability, he'll ignore all awareness on his very first turn.
And don't forget, Speed Force Vortex on his 3rd turn will do already 30% damage minimum extra.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is a kit that works very well. It synergizes perfectly. Every move just lends itself to every other part of the kit. It is very well designed, and I applaud WB for doing such a good job with this kit.
Now they just need to bump up his damage a little bit. Perfect.
Listen, I mean, his damage is not great, but I still have times where I see him on the opposing team, and I'm like, oh, okay, they wasted a slot, I don't have to worry about him. And then suddenly two of my team members are dead because he took 5 turns in a row. And I'm just like, oh, right, I completely underestimated him.
That was probably my team you actually faced in PvP. I do still use him every day.
Listen, I wasn't going to say it, but...
I use him every day. I actually do, because he has the same speed as Black Flash, so I can easily use that to my advantage. The fact that half the other speedsters are faster than him is an issue, but whatever. It's a different problem. I sent WB an email about it, don't worry.
The only problem that his kit has is that it doesn't do anything supporting anyone else.
He's a very selfish character.
He
Very
is.
true.
Which I think partially fits with Flash. Kind of to tie it into the comics, I do think Flash can be a little selfish at times, so it does feel like it works. He has his moments.
It depends if you're talking about reading the comics or if you're talking about the CW show.
Oh, the CW show, this is spot on for the CW show. But I mean, like, if you look at Flashpoint storyline where it's like, hey, don't go and save your mom from dying. I'm going to go save my mom from dying. Okay, we told you not to do that, but okay. And then...
You broke the world.
Broke the world. It's fine. We only told him not to twice.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that makes me kind of go like, maybe this does make sense.
That's a very good way to look at it.
Granted, there are like you have like characters like Larfleeze that I feel like are more selfless than Flash's kit, but that's a different issue. We'll talk about that later.
Well, and then there are some kits that don't make any sense at all. Like Blackfire, she came out the same time that Blue Beetle got his latest rework. And
I don't want to hear anything about Blue Beetle, Matt, on my podcast with you.
She got the kit that he should have. She was an anti-Lantern character, and he was an anti-Black Flash character.
Yeah,
Blue Beetle,
I'm still mad about it.
Right?
I'm still mad about it today.
Comic-wise, Blue Beetle should have had her kit. Anyways, Flash.
No, I send. Hold on, you've opened a can of worms that we're not closing. I send in every single week not a technical issue, but like a feedback report to Warner Brothers, and tell them Blue Beetle's kit is wrong. Fix it. Every week I send one in.
Well, listeners, you hear the call to action. Start sending in that feedback.
If you want Blue Beetle to be God again.
This is why you started a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I just wanted more supporters on the Blue Beetle fan club.
Exactly.
We have a Discord server and everything. I'll send you all the invite later.
Please don't. Back to
That
the
actually
Flash.
was we had a tag in my old server that was Blue Beetle fan club. But yes, back to the Flash. Let's go to that. Let's talk about him or something.
So yes, he has a good kit. It works really well with itself. It can work really well with others. Him under with Lex as a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Lex SS. Always.
Not AW. Oh God.
Right. If you put Lex AW as a lead, you need this podcast to tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for an upcoming Why Should I Care About episode on team leader slot.
So Flash.
He does a very good job at taking care of himself, and he can synergize well with others, but he can't do anything for anybody else.
All right. So Yorongoth, I do believe you have the highest ranked Flash. Tell why? Why?
So Flash is one of those characters that I just really like. I use him for red alerts a lot. That's the main reason I use him. That's the main place I use him. I usually have like either a Red Hood or a Lex Luthor lead, and then I use Flash and other CC characters just to blow through red alerts pretty easily. But
All right.
that's the sole reason, is mostly for red alerts, because I think he's effective there.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I'll say I've got mine. Yours is at RB2, right?
Yeah, RB2 level 71 maxed rings.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, I took him up
71.
to extra
Ooh.
1 level. Yeah.
Wow, mine's only at 70. Oh, whoa. That whole extra level is really, really screwing up our power levels there.
It's like a whole 30 extra power, bro.
Well, and that means a lot in red alerts, where it's, that's what's going to get you going there. Mine's only level 70 at Rebirth 1, so sorry. I guess you're the expert here. I'll let you take it the rest of the way.
No. I'm sure that you're more like aware of the good abilities and stuff.
I mean, actually, so the only reason I took him to L5, and I was like, I'll leave him here, even though I have all the frags. And then I took him to Rebirth 1 because I wanted him to be my top toon after I got the Blue Lantern skin, and I wanted him to be like the icon at the front of my Alliance thing.
Right.
Because I love the Blue Lantern skin, and then I have 6 other toons that have passed him easily by then. So I rebirthed him, and he was still below my top toons. I was so mad. 10 tokens down the drain.
When they reworked Harley Quinn, she shot way up on my list to like my top toon by far.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen when he gets his rework. He's gonna bump up way high. I'm calling it now. Speaking this into existence too, please. Along with next month's Zatanna rework.
Well, they haven't canceled Ezra Miller's Flash movie yet, so.
Oh, it's close. You know it's close. It's just around the corner.
Yes, time dating this podcast. That news will break tomorrow. So maybe when if that drops, if that actually makes it out, he'll get his rework then.
Yep. But until then, Flash, solid toon. Not an amazing toon, but he hits fast. He hits okay, and he hits often. And that's what you want, especially when you're running it. If you're running him on auto, he moves quickly, so you're moving fast in auto. So, something to think about there. But no, Erebus, you really said it all. Well, for someone who doesn't use him very often, you sir did speak very well to him. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm the one sitting here with him L5 and level 60.
So there's really no way you can use him right now at 70, I'm sure.
Nope. Not even a little.
Not at all. But yeah, very well synergized kit, very selfish, very fast. I would say that even though he's tied for 6th in speed, once he's ramped up, he's probably the second fastest character in the game, next to Black Flash, because Black Flash ramps up like nobody's business, and it makes me very mad. So,
although he gains speed ups faster than Black Flash, doesn't he?
Yes, I think so.
It depends on how the game's playing out. If you're killing people quickly, your Black Flash is gonna ramp up pretty fast. Black Flash gains more. Has less abilities that gain them, but he gets more clumps of them. Like, I think he has an ability that gains like 3 and another one for 2. And half of them are permanent, so it's a whole thing.
Yeah, 2 permanents.
That's gonna be an episode.
Yes. That'll be a different episode. I'm not gonna read his kit right now.
Not this time.
Look forward to it.
Yes. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be. He's a really good character, especially early game, because he can be your main striker very easily, especially against red characters. And that's all I really have to say about him. Anyone else have anything to say about Flash?
No, I think I've pretty much had everything covered that I had.
Worth the investment, and Old Man Barry is the best skin in the game.
Blue Lantern Flash, but okay, we can agree to disagree on that point.
At least we both agree. It's Flash's
it's a Flash skin. Oh, I do have one thing I want to talk about before we go. The legendary abilities. Because all of his legendary abilities are good. With the exception, in my opinion, I would take his 3rd ability last. All of them are good. And all of them are useful. So I really don't like They recommend on DCL Toolkit a legendary order. It's a great legendary order. I might take his first ability over his fourth ability. Oh, hold on. Their legendary order. I don't agree with this order at all. Okay, this is funny.
So this is the legendary order for late game.
Yeah.
And I agree. This is not the legendary order that I would take as an early game player. I think probably his third should be last as an early game player, just because, as I said, you'll want his 2 to be the first move that you use, and that's how you're going to ramp rather than the 30% turn meter up.
Here, hold on, let me read the legendary order real quick. On DCL Toolkit, the legendary order for late game is his fourth ability, his first ability, his second, his third, his fifth.
So that would be the extra 25% chance to use Red Streak, followed by gain 1 speed up on his basic, followed by gain debuff immunity on his when he uses Red Streak, then the cooldown -1 and 50% chance to gain 30% turn meter up on Speed Force Vortex, his third, and ignoring awareness on his fifth.
I guess I can see why that would be that is the late game, but that's if you're taking it in the late game. Like, you have to take that legendary order late game, because that ignore awareness is too valuable early game. Oh well, all of them are good abilities.
Yes.
And I think we can leave it there, and it kind of just depends on your needs. Like, if you've unlocked Lady Shiva, she ignores awareness on most of her attacks. So you don't need Flash to ignore awareness for you.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a character like her or Peacemaker or someone like that available, that would come in handy a lot sooner than later.
At the same time, even in PvP, you would probably be facing fewer characters that have awareness necessarily early on. So, I think...
And, yeah.
I think I would say, for the Legendary Order, I would suggest it would be his 4 and his 1, definitely as the first 2, and then probably his 5, his 2, and his 3.
Yeah, I would do 1, 4, 5, 2, 3.
Yeah, I would say that the 4 and the 1 are pretty interchangeable, just depending on how you feel like playing. But those should definitely be the first 2 things that you try and take.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything now.
Yes. Don't forget to tune in next week for our discussion on Sinestro Yellow Lantern.
See y'all next time, and if you want to see more videos, join us on YouTube, where we have all of our previous videos uploaded, or you can go back on the history in our Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts, where there will be all of the other videos uploaded. And you can join us on Twitter, Erebus,
at Apokolips Pod.
or on our website, Erebus.
Apokolipspod.com.
There it is. And we'll have our Discord server linked on every description of our video and podcasts. So please join us on the Discord server. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Everywhere that you can find us has a link to everywhere else that you can find us.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye.